My name is Dr. Erica Liggins, and I'm a licensed clinical psychologist. And I'm helping your parent to become a psychologist just like me by helping them to pass a really important test called the EPPP. I want to thank you so much for taking some time to listen to this recording because, as their child, you are a very important part of this process. In this recording, you're going to be learning a little bit more about what the EPPP is all about and how you can help them during this process so that they can successfully pass it. In this recording, I'm going to be teaching you a little bit about the EPPP and how you can help your parent during this process so that they can focus and hopefully in this recording, I'm going to be teaching you a little bit about the EPPP and how you can help your parent as they are finishing this really important test. In this recording, I'm going to be sharing with you some information about the EPPP and how you can help your parent during this process. First of all, let's talk about what the EPPP is. The EPPP is a two-part exam that takes an average of about 8 hours to complete the whole thing. In order to study for the EPPP, your parent has to study a lot of different topics, 11 of them to be exact. It's basically like taking 11 classes at the same time, so it's a lot of information. And because of this, it takes on average about 3 to 6 months to prepare for this exam. And they have to put in anywhere from about 15 to 20 hours per week. So it's kind of like your parents going to be taking on basically like a part-time job, but it's not very fun and it can feel stressful to study for this exam because it's a pretty hard test. The questions are really weird, and like I said, it takes several hours to complete. So I want you to think of the EPPP as being very similar to the SAT or the ACT. Both of these tests are really important. And just like the ACT, it determines if what kind of college you can get into and it helps you get to the next step. Well, the same thing with the EPPP. In order for your parent to get the types of jobs that they want and to finally be done with this whole schooling thing, they have to pass this test. So it's really, really, really important that they put in the time and really focus. And this is where you and your family come in. We really need everyone to help out in this process so that your parent can focus. So let's talk through a couple of things that you can do to help out. The first thing is to try your best to understand that your parent will be busier than usual. But remember, this is only for a few months. Once they pass the test, they'll be done with it forever, and then things can go back to normal. The next thing that you can do to be helpful is to make sure that you give them space while they're studying, unless it's an emergency. Of course, if anyone is sick or something really serious is going on, then of course you should interrupt your parent. But otherwise, you should really try your best to keep yourself busy or do other things while they're studying so that they can focus. And after you listen to this recording, I want you to talk with your parent about what times of day they're going to be studying and when, so that way you know when they're studying. The next thing that you can do to be helpful is to try your best to keep up with your chores and your homework. During this time, because your parent's going to be super busy, that means that everyone is really going to have to kind of chip in and help out around the house to make sure things still run smoothly. And I'm going to be asking everyone in your household to chip in more and everyone work together as a team. So this might also include if you have younger siblings, you might be asked possibly to help watch your siblings, for example, while your parents studying if they're a little too young to understand fully what's going on. And I know that's a little bit of extra task for you, but remember, this is all temporary. It's just for a few months, and once they pass, things go back to normal. After you listen to this recording, like I said, I want you to sit with your parent and talk about not only when their schedule is, but also I want you to talk about when you'll still spend time together. Because, of course, we want to make sure that you still get to check in every day or have some special family time every week. So please make sure that you sit down with your parent and talk about when you're still going to have time to get together as a family. And if there are other ways that you think you could be helpful, during that little meeting, you can also offer up ways that you'd like to help as well. Thank you again for taking the time to listen to this recording. Your help in this process is really important and very much appreciated. So thank you, thank you, thank you.